Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you could real quick, go click the subscribe button right below, and at the end of the video, maybe give us a like if you enjoyed it. But today, as you see in the title, we're gonna tear apart our billet HEMI heads, getting ready for our rebuild again. We just had a video series on rebuilding this HEMI last year, but with the engine blow up, we're going over a lot more stuff, and we're gonna show a few more things. We do have some bent valves in our heads. This is the passenger side head right here. So we're gonna go ahead, get all this stuff kind of pulled apart. We're gonna start popping off the rockers and the stands there, and then we'll go ahead and use our new LSM manual valve spring compressor and start pulling the valve springs off. I will take these titanium valves, put them in the lathe, and show you guys how much wobble we have. So hey, let's get to it. All right, as I was saying, we need to go ahead and get these stands and everything and bolts all lifted off of here. As you see, some of these are moving fine, some do not. We want to verify that we didn't bend something. Most likely we just have some grit and gunk in here. So we're gonna take everything apart and wash it. So now you can see on here exactly how this is kind of set up. You can see each of these holes is individually doweled to hold everything on there, and these dowels are very, very tight. There's actually slight indents of threads that you can see in some of them because it's so tight on there. So we might take these dowels and open them up just a little bit so that way we don't have any side load on the bolts. So with everything off, let's go ahead, spin this around, show you guys. If you see on here, we'll zoom in. There's some lines coming across on these valves, on all of them like that, not up here. Well, this is cylinder number 2, this is cylinder number 8, this is the passenger side head. When the crankshaft broke at the front and it sent the rods and everything through the oil pan, that was that front one that took care of number 1 and number 2 cylinder. So the piston was actually down at the bottom, it didn't do anything. The other pistons were still able to keep spinning with the transmission and started to smack valves, and that's what you're seeing, is that's the mark from each of the pistons hitting the valve. We're gonna go ahead and use our new LSM spring compressor tool. This is a deep throat on there to help with getting the fat HEMI heads and such taken care of. I'm gonna go ahead and get these tore apart and you guys can follow along. Now we've got this head done. You can see we've got everything in order here. This is front and rear. These trays you can get right off of Summit Racing. I'll put a link in the description below. They're made by Jazz. They're really nice. You've seen me use them on when we've done the GTO cam, when we've torn apart engines and everything like that. You've seen this on the channel a couple times. They're really nice, so check the description below. Pick one of these up for when you're working in the garage. Anyways, we took all of the valve spring shims off, and they correlate exactly on here. What we did is we put them in between the valve, so the valve holds it right there. We know exactly what is what. On these engines, you don't run any valve seals. It was the weirdest thing when I saw it. I was like, there's no way that you get away with doing this, but you don't run valve seals because the guide itself is very short. So if you start to lose any lubrication to that, it's gonna wipe that guide out really fast. And they run pretty tight tolerances because these run fairly cold. So we haven't had any issues with it. We thought it was the craziest thing when we first saw that, and I was like, they didn't put any valve seals on this. Well, you know what? Nobody does. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go grab the other head and we're gonna do the same thing, pop all the rocker stands off, disassemble it, and then we'll take all of this stuff, put it in the lathe and see how many bent valves we have, and if there's anything else we have to go over. So we have one head that the cleaner just shut off, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. And another one that is all tore apart now. We have all of our valves. We're gonna go ahead and get this ready to go over into the hot tank, but let's go take a look at all these valves. Don't worry. But, so this is front, rear, and we can see all of these just ding marks in here. Let's go ahead and go over there. I saw these as they were coming out because I could spin them in the guide, and there's a couple of them that are pretty bad, but it's hard to video that, so let's go ahead and set the camera up. We'll chuck a couple up into the lathe, show you guys, and we'll get a count of exactly how many titanium HEMI valves I have to order. God, that just, it hurts saying it. All right, so here at the lathe, I'm going to be taking one valve at a time. I'm going to put it in to the chuck where it's going to hold on to the stem. We will turn the lathe on and see how much of a wobble it has. If it doesn't have anything at all on there, we're gonna go ahead, put it back in, not mark it. If it does have a pretty good wobble to it, I grab a can, I have a can of blue spray paint that I use for this, and I spray paint the head blue, and I stick it back to where it was so we can also check out the valve seat for that as well. Anything that does not have a severe wobble that's easily seen by the eye, I'll go back at another time, probably tomorrow or something, and I'll put a dial indicator on it and make sure that it doesn't have any, maybe 1 or 2 thou of run out or something on it. But right now we're looking for the big ones. Usually when a piston hits, it bends it by more than 1 or 2 thou. Let's go ahead and get you guys set up so you can see this as well. Take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have 6 exhaust valves that are bent. Not a single intake showed a bend in it. So we're gonna definitely clean them up and indicate them in. But the exhaust valves on, because this is the rear, this is the front. Let me double check. Yep, front, rear. Remember, you can get this in the description below. These are the 6 cylinders that would have kept going at the rear of the engine when it blew up. These 2 cylinders right here, the rods ended up shooting down out of the block. So everything that kept spinning, it looks like it just chased and it hit the exhaust, and it bent the exhaust, and it just tapped all of these when they were closed. So that's, you know, pretty promising. Like I said, we're gonna take and regrind all of these valves. We're going to clean these up and indicate them, make sure that they're good, and yeah, that's pretty cool that I only have to buy 6 valves. I was thinking I was gonna have to buy almost 16. There we have it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get a hold of probably a couple of valve companies tomorrow. Brodix has some titanium valves for HEMIs. May even call up our buddy Jim over at Bullet Racing Engines and Larry Jeffers Race Cars. See if maybe they have the valves we need. And kind of keep going. We're gonna get these all cleaned up, ready for assembly. We do have some news. the block we sent in, you remember we sent it to Brad Anderson, everything there? It's bad. They found 3 different cracks coming between the sleeves up and cracked into the main web. So we have to buy a new block. Luckily, we know some people and we got a used billet Brad Anderson block. Standard deck, correct, cam, everything on there. So a new to us billet Brad Anderson block. It has been repaired once, but it was repaired at Brad Anderson, so we're pretty excited about that. Hoping we can push a little bit more boost to that engine and make some more power. Definitely stay tuned because we're going to show you what we changed inside the carburetor to handle that extra boost. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Go ahead and maybe leave a comment below. We do have the 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming up. Let us know what you'd like to see given away. We did have the idea of taking that billet crankshaft we broke, we're going to weld it back together and make it a shop stool. If that's something you're interested in, leave a comment below. If you think we should give something else away, give me a comment below. Until next time, guys, be safe out there.